Americans who are working in my company. I'm a black man. I own a company. I hire a Latino. The Latino comes back and complains about the African Americans because the Latino thinks because I'm African, I don't have any relationship with the African American. The Latino comes to me and tell me that you are an immigrant. I'm an immigrant. That African American cannot work. I have Jose, I have Gonzalez, my brothers who know how to work very well. You need to fire the African Americans and I will bring a lot of hardworking Latinos who work for your company. This is my company as a black man. My company. I was a contractor at Quantico Marine Base in Virginia. A contractor for General Electrics. And the Latino workers that are hired, they are snitching on the African American workers that are hired for me to fire the African Americans so they can bring Latinos to take their place.
Houston Community College is facing a $100 million lawsuit. Hundreds of African-American employees, both past and present, say they faced racial discrimination while working at HCC. Channel 2's Roseanne Aragon is live tonight with a closer look at what this new lawsuit claims. Roseanne?
This lawsuit was intentionally filed today. The plaintiff tells us she represents many. Houston Community College slapped with a $100 million racial discrimination lawsuit filed on none other than the Juneteenth holiday. At the center of the case is Zelia Brown, a former employee who says she and others have been racially targeted by HCC leadership. The suit also reveals an email chain from Chancellor Cesar Maldonado, which states now we Hispanics are going to receive preferential treatment.
This is a pattern. That's something that is methodically and deliberately done to ostracize that individual.
The suit names Maldonado, HR Director Janet May, and Board of Trustees member Adriana Thomas, claiming they worked intentionally on a, quote, well-developed, systematic, entrenched, and wildly successful campaign of race and sex discrimination against top-level black employees, stating that 90% of the longtime black professionals at HCC have either been terminated or demoted, while there has been a 50% increase in Hispanic hires and promotions.
Whether it is demoting them by pay, placing them in a lower level position, creating schemes.
Brown says it happened to her. In 2016, she was hired to advise on grant use and compliance. In 2018, when she found what she believes was a clear pattern of misused funds and spoke up.
Every avenue that I would go down, they would present an obstacle.
But the lawsuit cites other alleged tactics, including padding black employee personnel files with false complaints. For Brown,
they just immediately placed me on administrative leave.
In March, she resigned, and
there have been dozens, as I've said, that have come forward.
HCC says they have not been served yet, so at this hour, they do not have a response. For now, Roseanne Aragon, KPRC, Channel 2 News.
Roseanne, thank you.
Welcome back to the channel. Well, I'm hoping that you're doing great from wherever you're watching us from. As you know, I'm your host and presenter here, Eugene Stories. But until then, let's watch this video. Really important, because I've been telling you that sometimes you see we Africans sometimes failing to understand Black Americans. But you ask yourself why? Because of a couple of things that aren't true that we are told about Black Americans. A case study is this African businessman who has a business in the United States. Most of the times when he tries to hire people, normally people from the Hispanic community who will come to ask for a job will tarnish the names of Black people so that they can get the spots and not Black people. And what does this reveal about all this that we're trying to say? This reveals that how sometimes we Africans, we are always misinformed about Black people. And remember, there's an episode that I did, and I think if you haven't watched it, kindly make sure you go and watch it. I talked about us taking time and understanding each other's history, because honestly, it took a while for this gentleman to know all these stereotypic things that he was being told about Black people were lies. And if you think that this is a lie, I want you to watch this video. For the longest time, and also in the workplaces, I've seen, not really seen, but really have heard Black people coming out and saying that it is not easier for black people to be hired, especially in Latino infested places. When we have Hispanic businesses, it is so hard to find black people, but you will find Hispanic people hiring fellow Hispanic people, but black people will always want to also include them in their jobs. And so all these things happening, really I'll come to a conclusion and say it is really hard to help Hispanic people, especially right now that they need black folks. Now I understand why the relationship between black people and Hispanic people is so bruised, and it has a lot of dynamics that I think we need to understand. While not all Latinos do this, it's important to note that, but we have a group of them that does this and tarnish the name of even good Latinos that are out there. And so this is something that has been happening for the long time, right? I want us to watch this video. I'll be back. This time around, I'm going to be reading and sharing black people comments, how they have interacted or how they have faced this problem. Now, I'll ask you first and foremost, if you're watching us for the first time, please consider subscribing to the channel, join our membership, and really get to see what we can offer you. But until then, let's watch the video. As you know, I'm your host and presenter, Eugene Talk Stories, and I'll be back. We'll be talking about this.
I'm going to show you the predatory tactics of the Mexicans at a workplace versus the predatory tactics of different other races. Now, and it's not even really different other races. It's really just them. If you notice, they're not going to hire black people too much, man. They're going to hire their own. They're going to deal with their own. And in the workplace, if they can get rid of you, they're going to get rid of you, man. They're going to get rid of you. If you look at some of the warehouse, because I've worked in a lot of warehouses, look at some of the warehouse jobs that some of you young people going to. And just watch what going on. First off, the majority of workers are going to be Mexicans or Hispanics. And they going to always be up under the boss. 9 times out of 10, they up under that boss because they telling on the brothers. They want them out the way so they can go get Jose, Enrique, Pablo, Fernando. They want to go get all them and bring them into work. And that's how they go, man. And from our side of the fence, that's messed up. But from their side of the fence, it's called unity and loyalty. They are about their own, man. They about their, and the cold part about it, I'm not mad at them for being about their own, because we should be about our own too. The same way they about their own, the same way we should be about our own. Black people got a bad habit of wanting to extend a loving hand to everybody, want to embrace and love everybody, but everybody won't embrace and love us, man. When y'all gonna start understanding that? All that we shall overcome and kumbaya, man, that ain't it. Hey, homie, hey, you know what I'm saying? I'm a Christian through and through, and I love people. But now you not, you know what I'm saying? Hey, I still have a slight problem with that turning the other cheek thing, though. You know, I ain't gonna lie, I do. And so if you do my people wrong, I don't know how to just turn the other cheek and just say, okay, it's cool, and we just keep on being cool with other people who don't treat us the way we supposed to be treated, who show outright that they really don't like us, man. You feel what I'm saying? You go in any Mexican restaurant in LA, ain't no blacks working in there, period. None. Only they people. But you can go in every other restaurant, soul food restaurant in LA, and what? Who cooking in the back? The Mexicans. In a black restaurant, they cooking in the back. Why? Because they might work for less. People trying to cut costs. But where's the loyalty to your own people at, man? Where's the loyalty to your own people at, homie? You know what I'm saying? I'm finna show you a clip. Of this African brother, man. He been in America for a long time. I'm just saying hundreds. But yeah, he been in America for a long time. He owns his own company. He finna speak and show you how the people, how the Hispanic people are toward us. Now here it is. This is a black African who owns a company. He hired a lot of Hispanic people to work in his company, trying to get him a break too. But now he also got, regular FBAs, regular, blacks from America working too. And he gonna show you right now at his own mouth how when he hired the Hispanic people, how they start trying to come in and get in his ear and whispering and start snitching on the brothers about when they working, if they coming to work late, what they doing, what they not doing, and trying to get the brothers fired so they could get their people in. Outright told them he got Fernando, he got this, he got that, and boom, 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 boom. That could come work. You could get rid of them and bring my people in. Man, if you don't get stop it, dog. The F out of here, man. Matter of fact, bump all that. I'm going to just let y'all watch it before I even continue my rant and raving, man.
In my company, I'm a black man. I own a company. I hire a Latino. The Latino comes back and complain about the African Americans because the Latino thinks because I'm African, I don't have any relationship with the African American. The Latino comes to me and tell me that you are an immigrant. I'm an immigrant. That African American cannot work. I have Jose, I have Gonzalez, my brothers who know how to work very well. You need to fire the African Americans and I will bring a lot of hardworking Latinos who work for your company. This is my company as a black man. My company. I was a contractor at Quantico Marine Base in Virginia. A contractor for General Electrics. And the Latino workers that are hired, they are snitching on the African American workers that are hired for me to fire the African Americans so they can bring Latinos to take their place.
Now, y'all heard that BS man. Y'all heard that did y'all hear that BS man? These clowns, they got the nerve to go to a African snitching on us to get us fired so they can bring their people in. Oh, hardworking. So they can bring their people in and work. Talk about because we are African Americans, we don't get to work. Hey, man, that's wild. But I keep telling y'all, that's how they think, homie. That's how their mindset is. And y'all, I will admit, brothers and sisters out there, y'all starting to wake up. Y'all are starting to wake up. I will admit, y'all not as gullible and good as y'all usually be to these type things. Because of the severity of it now, even the young brothers and sisters out there starting to wake up. So, a time's gonna come, change gonna come. But when I tell you, them people don't care nothing about us, man. So y'all need to go sit down, stop trying to extend a helping hand, stop trying to be nice, stop trying to do all that, man. Worry about your own people. Because they ain't worried about nothing but they own people. It don't make no sense, man. How the heck you gonna go up in a soul food restaurant and the only people in the back cooking are Hispanics? Ain't no brothers and sisters back there cooking, period. Talk about a soul food restaurant. All right. You not finna see not near black sister or black brother in the back of no Mexican restaurant cooking. Taco, ticos, papipos, atitos. They not finna let us back there to not make none of it. They going to employ their people. Straight up. Yeah. And it's just the reality of it. Ain't no need for nobody to get on here talk about, oh, you hating, this person hating, y'all hating. No, it ain't. It ain't got nothing to do with no hate. If there anything, the hate coming from them, we just speaking on it how it is. I'm speaking on it how it is, man. You heard what the brother say, man, they came to him trying to get us fired. You know what I'm saying? When they on the side of the highways working on the freeway, ain't nothing but them. When they come in to cut your grass, ain't nothing but them. You working when they in their mechanic and tire shops, they got 50 million tire shops everywhere. Who there? Nothing but them. You ain't finna see not near, brother, man. They employ their own. That's what we need to start doing, employing our own. Hey, black people, you can't be stupid all your life. You can't be slow all your life, man. Wake up. Wake up, man. That's one of the things about Alabama. You go in a soul food restaurant here, ain't nothing but black folks back there. People hiring their own. We can't depend on other races, man, to look out for us. We can't depend on other races to want to open extending arms to us. We got to get our own, like FUBU, for us, by us, man. We're going to have to open our own doors to our own kind. We're going to have to embrace our own, man. That's why one of the reasons why that gang banging in L.A. eventually is going to come to a halt. It ain't finna come to a halt just because we want to kumbaya with each other and all this and that. No, it's going to come to a halt because of adversity. The same adversity that the brothers be up against when all them other people in prison, to the point to where you got blue and red don't matter no more. It's about the blackness. That's the same thing that's going to happen on the streets, man. And it's coming. It's coming. They're going to put that blue and red to the side on the streets and come together as one, as black people, man. Because like on that east side of LA, man, we are endangered species, homie. There ain't very many of us left. Not compared to them other groups. But you heard what the brother said, man. And it's like that everywhere. Come on, black folks. I'm rooting for us. Peace.
I'm a prime example of what it looks like to have two parents who are both immigrants. One who's an extreme leftist, God rest her soul, and one who's a complete coon. When my mom came into this country, she came to New York at 18 years old from Jamaica. And within the first 5 years, she started understanding that that propaganda that they fed her in Jamaica, that, oh, you're a special kind of black, was a lie. So she took it upon herself to read Black American history, because most of her classmates and colleagues were Black Americans, and these people were kind to her. So she took that upon herself to educate herself. My other parent, not so much. But it goes to show that if my mom was still alive, my mom would have voted for Kamala. As far as the other parent, in his ignorance, he voted for Orange. So let this be a reminder to do the work.
There's an African man talking on TikTok. He's going viral, y'all. He's going viral. He's talking about something that's been going on for a long time. The discrimination in the workplace between African Americans and Latinos. But let me speak about it because I'm African American. It happens with everyone. African Americans are discriminated by everyone. And he did make a valid point. White people don't really discriminate against us anymore. Not really. Depending on the workplace. Who's there? Because I've seen where whites and Latinos get together and they concoct something against African Americans. With that being said, I have worked in numerous places with whites, and if you do your job and mind your business, you're good. But let's be realistic about the scenario. This is happening and it needs to change. We already know. If you go into any type of business and it's one group of people only working there, there's a problem with that. And I'm going to be realistic. I worked in McDonald's as an experiment, and I was the only African American there. And I can see why young individuals don't have jobs. Because you have older individuals that are stuck in their way, don't want to learn English. And when you're trying to do your job, you can't communicate with them. You have young individuals working also, too, that their family and wherever they don't want them to learn English so they can send the money home. So it's a dialect issue also with the young generation where they don't speak English and they don't find the need to speak English. And we're disconnected, and also they're disconnected from opportunities that they could get better if they learn English. So with that being said, it does happen. And I see Africans own businesses where they won't allow African Americans to work there. Also, it's everyone, not just one group. We have to talk about it and fix it. But we see you. We see the supermarkets. We see the stores that it's only one race of people working in there. Stop shopping in there, black people. If they will not hire your sons or your daughters, stop shopping in these places. The only places there should be one race of people working in there, Spanish restaurant, soul food restaurant. Those type of restaurants are traditional, cultural, and they need to be with their races. But when we open in sandwich shops, deli shops, we can't make a sandwich. It's getting ridiculous. Stop shopping with them if they won't hire your kids. That's it, Jesus! Over and out.
Big old stress pimple because I cannot believe I gotta get on here and say this, but this is Trump's America, so here we go. One black person does not represent the black community in its entirety. One Latino does not represent all Latinos, so on and so forth. So those of you generalizing in the comments are just as ignorant as the woman in that video. Black people, it is okay to say that the woman in the video does not align with who you are, just as I can say that the 59% of Latinas who voted for that monstrosity of a human does not align with who I am. I do not care how many of us voted against our best interests. We are not the same. And those Latinos who voted for the 34 count convicted felon, if we took a deep dive into exactly why that is, we would have to confront some real ugly truths about our community. But not all of us are ready for that conversation. But education is the answer to all of this. Conveniently, there is a war on education in our country currently. There is a war on research, a war on science. Why? Ask yourselves why that is. Because the more sick we are, the more stupid we are, the more separated we are, the more powerful they are. When will we stop giving them so much power?
Hello guys, welcome back to the channel again. I'm your host and presenter Eugene Stories, and we need to talk about this. Really, it's an important part of discussion that the black community in its entirety, we need to talk about this, because I finally find it so important to bring this to the table for us to discuss, because black people are coming out and sharing their experiences in how they have been treated. And this tells you, and this is so much revealing in how the Hispanic community are being used as puppets to push the disunity between black people and Africans. And this is so much clear, right? If this is not clear to you, then I don't know, because this gentleman is coming out trying to discuss how he was discouraged not to interact with black people, because when he interacted with black people, a couple of things are going to be happening in his business, and he doesn't want that to happen. But it took him a while to understand the truth, and he later on came and understand that all these things these people have been saying is a lie. And so I wanted to take this moment to at least amplify the idea that most of relationships between Africans and African Americans or Black Americans is usually bruised by the lies that are being told about black people, the lies that are being told about Africans, the lies that are being told about African Americans or Black Americans, right? Now, in this, I'm going to be sharing with you people's sharing their sentiments in regards to related scenario. People who have come across this scenario, people who have faced this problem one by one. I'm going to be reading what they have to say about this. Somebody is saying that I've learned this from experience. If you're a black man with a job, somebody is going to have a problem with you. You have to always be on the guard with your moves. Somebody is also saying that I'm retired now, but I worked 20 years in a very popular hospital in Westwood, California. I worked there for 20 years, and there were many of them hating on us, trying to get us fired. And if they ain't trying to get you fired, then they are hating like crazy on you. Honestly though, there were many Hispanic men trying to get me fired because all of the praise I was getting from my hard work. They hated my guts because I outshined them and also outworked them. It ruined their reputation of being the hardest worker, and they couldn't even take being outshined by a black man. The funniest thing is, God blessed me in front of each and every one of them. and all they could do was to stand there and look hard. I will not and cannot help my enemy. As I was saying, at this point, it is so hard to help people from the Hispanic community. Well, I know it's not all of them, but it's becoming hard for the few who are destroying the names of others. Somebody saying that this is 100% true. As a white man in the trades, 45 years in Denver, Colorado, seen this hundreds of times, and I know Spanish and heard him talk about people. They only want their kind on jobs, and they'll do whatever it takes to keep it that way. Somebody saying also, I'm a Mexican from LB, worked in LA restaurants, seeing the older Mexicans talk shitty and sneaky, these blacks in Spanish. I always peeped it and never felt that subliminal shit. This shit is all facts. It's true. Somebody saying that is absolutely right, because I was fired from several jobs in the past over those actions. Snitching, aiding, and trying to replace us. And you speaking facts as well. Salute to the foundation. Somebody saying that being there personally in the warehouse, they will snitch on black people, but let other Mexicans get away with the same stuff they tell on black people about. Crazy. Somebody saying that I've been chair for 15 years. This is facts. They tell on blacks. Somebody's also saying that he ain't lying. Mexican snitched on me in West Oakland, California, and got me fired from the temp job. These are different people. Trust me, guys. These are different people sharing their testimonies, sharing their experience with Latinos, how they have been fired because of the lies that they told about black people. Somebody saying that they really think we not hardworking. That's crazy. I work 10 hours a day as a fabrication welder. I'm 25 years old, making 6 figures. No college, no nothing. Went to trade school, learned for about 3 years, got a apprenticeship, and now I'm off and running. And the company I work for is run by a black man. God is good. Somebody saying that I work in construction, and it really happens. They tried me, but I was smarter than the oppressor. They talked about me and lied on me, but be afraid to face me if not at work. I worked hard just to piss them off, and they hated it. I stood on business and still do. Only the strong survive. Us black are different, and they don't understand. Why do everyone treat us different? Why do everyone treat us differently? I think it's envy. Somebody said that. Let me see. Somebody's also saying that my husband used to work in construction. He used to tell me how his Mexican workers were always trying to get him fired. Since he was an amazing worker, his boss ignored them. That was good. And I'm glad people are getting to speak on this. Somebody's saying that appreciate this one big OG. People screaming this black and brown unity bullshit, but I don't give an F with them at all, because they are Latinos/Browns, show their true colors, especially on the job. I've experienced this personally on the transportation side here in El Paso, Texas. Somebody's also saying, bruh, I'm at my job. They was running the old job, but the other day, the head Mexican in charge got fired for stealing stuff out of the bay doors. Now the other Mexican workers are leaving because the new manager is black. Now I get 40 hours a week instead of 13. Dang, that's a win for you, brother. People are trying to, share their reality with these experience. Somebody's also saying, went to Roscoe's in Long Beach a couple of years back, sat down to eat, couldn't understand why the food tasted so different, bland. On the way out, I noticed the cooks were Mexican now. Got nothing to do with that. Somebody's saying that that's why they've been doing in Holland for the past 15 years. It used to be brothers working all the warehouse jobs and distribution with Coke, Pepsi, Tropicana, but now it's all Puerto Ricans and Mexicans up in there. Somebody saying that I'm from New York and we have the same problems with these Hispanics too. I was a supervisor for an organization and some Hispanics got me fired, and my organization is fighting back because I've done nothing wrong. Somebody's also saying, you are so right. The sabotage is real. I'm 49 years old. I learned how to move in the workplace. It made me an introvert while walking around them. Good morning, good evening, and good night. If we not talk about it, I have nothing to talk about. Right? And I think most of people are playing safe with that. Somebody is saying that snitching is snitching. Somebody is also saying that I remember working at a warehouse in Minneapolis back in 2021. A Mexican who was a dog worker as me. He tried to follow behind me when I was asking the supervisor, who was a brother, about being moved to a door downs in the warehouse. He, the Mexican, thought he could snitch on me because I checked his eyes about talking me crazy. And this is true story. Somebody saying that with me being blessed to be a supervisor, if someone comes to me snitching, I don't pay attention. I have to see it myself. I keep an eye out on the snitch because what time do you have to snitch? Because if you're watching someone else, to me, you're not working. Real talk. Somebody said that I first experienced this as a DoD contractor overseas. There were a large group of Puerto Ricans who were clicked up and did the same thing. They tormented one PR who was more comfortable hanging with black workers to the point of him quitting and returning to the States. These are all things that are happening and people are coming out and sharing this reality. Somebody's also saying that all my work history down here in Southmost San Diego, I experienced weird hostile work environments due to them. Always trying to find any way to sabotage you and your job. We gotta be like the spook that sits by the door, enemy behind lines. That's how we should conduct ourselves when facing these issues. Well, there's so many comments and people are sharing, right? So feel free to share in the comment section what's your lived experience with these folks. How did that make you feel? So I'm your host and presenter Eugene Stories. If you're watching us for the first time, kindly consider subscribing to the channel, join our membership, and really get to see what we can offer you. But until then, peace, love, and harmony. Salute.